Hey guys, Sagebrush Sara here. I just wanted to take a minute to talk to you about some amazing people in the cowboy world that are taking a stand to help change the conversations around mental health. All of these folks have either personal experience or have suffered the loss of close friends to addiction or suicide. The topic of mental health is a huge umbrella that covers everything from depression, addiction, suicide ideation, trauma, brain injuries, emotional regulation issues, negative thought patterns. I mean, the list goes on and on. Several of my dear friends are throwing stones into ponds to create that ripple effect to help normalize the conversations around mental health. Please excuse my notes, that way I can remember. I wanted to give a shout out to Justin Reichert and Nicole Grady. They run the Outside Circle show, and they have the Creed, Colorado ranch roping event. This was the second year they've had a panel on mental health and addiction in the cowboy community. If you haven't watched their mental health video, I believe it's still on their Facebook page. They also help the cowboy community out with fundraisers for folks suffering illnesses like cancer or major wrecks. This year's panel was run by Josh Lazy and Jeremy Morris. Josh is the founder of Sea Change, and that's a treatment center for addiction in California. He is real and raw and passionate about helping to spread the message. And the guinea hens are coming to visit us. Jeremy Morris has a fantastic podcast called Wild Courage that's full of real stories from men who have the courage to be vulnerable and share their trials and tribulations. I know he has a retreat, and all of that information can be found on thewildcourage.org. Jeremy and Buck Brannaman are teaming up at the Pro-Am roping this year to continue to spread awareness and help others in their mental health journeys. I just recently got back from Colorado, where Maddie Butcher is the founder of Buck the Trend. It's a pilot mental health forum that's run under the Best Horse Practices Summit. She created a 2.5-day, all-expense-paid workshop focused on skill building and elevating the mental health conversation in the cowboy community. Maddie's interviewed several folks who participated in Buck the Trend on her podcast, myself included. And these can be found on the besthorsepractices.com. And I just finished my podcast, just went live yesterday. My new friend, Dan Dauphin, is a trainer and a bid expert out of Louisiana, who's also passionate about helping others and has his own podcast as well. He makes videos to help spread the word about mental health. My friend Greg Robinson also shares his struggles at times and is always willing to help others on their own journey, as well as with their horsemanship. All of these folks have built a name in the cowboy world and the cowboy culture. They're wonderful friends, and they're all trying to make a difference to help out the cowboy community with mental health. They're trying to help normalize those conversations around mental health. We need to remove the ego and allow ourselves to be vulnerable and share our stories, because your story might help someone else struggling, or vice versa. What can you do to help a friend or family member in crisis? Be an active listener. Make yourself available to them. Help them find resources that are available. Oftentimes, a person in distress wants to talk through their thoughts. Too often, we become uncomfortable with what they're saying and don't know how to deal with it. So we shut down and or remove ourselves because we don't know how to deal with it. We're beginning a movement. These topics can be uncomfortable, and many folks don't want to address them. How do we facilitate the change in the conversation? What can you do to help your loved ones? I personally have dealt with a lot of suicide over the years. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. I can tell you so often family members knew there were signs of depression, but didn't think their loved ones would do that. A large part of the time, the loved one has used alcohol or controlled substances to make that fatal decision, to numb out the rationalization. We need to be there for each other, lend a hand, lend an ear, offer guidance, and if you don't have an answer, help them find one. You too can be part of this movement. Everyone deals with different degrees of mental health issues in their lifetime. Let's make it normal to talk about and easier to find the answers and find the resources to affect change. Just yesterday, I saw that our legislature had reduced the budget for mental health grants. So it's going to take us in the cowboy community to start to normalize these conversations and make a difference We don't want to have, we're seeing too many of the cowboys on ranches, or recently we had one on a dude outfit that felt that they didn't have anywhere to turn. They couldn't find the answers. And in several of those situations, they took their own lives. So let's be the ones to stand up and make a difference. And for my coworker, peace out, rainbow trout.